Hey y'all, Emily here from fairairmusic.com. Thanks so much for joining me for this second part to our multi-part series, Creating a Song. Hopefully you've just watched the songwriting process and picked up a couple of cool little tricks along the way and helped get that creativity flowing. In this video, we are going to start some pre-production elements and getting an arrangement for our new song. This is one of my favorite parts. I feel like I can get real creative and do a lot of experimenting and just seeing what kind of influences that I've had and kind of mold those together into building that emotion that goes along with our song lyrics. So let me show you how I did that with this song. All right, so now some real fun begins because we're gonna start building out this song and putting all our tracks together. Now, this is not necessarily what I would consider a full-blown recording session or the recording phase of this project. We're basically building up a demo right now. So we're doing things that, you know, we're kind of experimenting with different sounds and different instruments and just kind of building that all together just to get a foundation on kind of where we want that end product to be. And this can be a ton of fun. And there's so many different things. Like, I know you'll say, like, I don't know how to play the drums. I don't know how to play the bass, or I don't even know how to play the keyboards. You know, for me personally, I can pound out a couple of chords, but as far as like getting creative with it, it's not really my strong suit. So there's tons of stuff that can help us along. And I want to go over a few of those. So just like building out that melody with our splice tracks, we're going to kind of do some similar things with our instrument tracks. So once we get that, like, the next thing I want to do is kind of come up with a beat. And that's where the drums come in here. And I am using Easy Drummer. I think this thing is super great, especially with songwriting. Now, it may not be the best sounding drums. I know they've gotten better. I know you can tweak things here in your mixer, but for right now, it's just the songwriting process, like having just a stereo track of everything, that's fine. So that's what we've got. So I've found a couple of, just settings that I like. And this is a very, very, very basic track here. So I'll let you listen to that. And this was just something to kind of help build some other things like our bass. So here is the drums. And then really, it just sort of kind of keeps that whole thing. Now on the verse, we just have the kick. And it's pretty much that way throughout. Basically, it just goes back to that same chorus because that's really what we have left of the song. And it's only playing through one of the verses. Eventually, I would just like to have like some pretty powerful drums there that come in probably in the second chorus. But for right now, that's totally fine. Now, what that helps me do is come up with a bass line. And I am really loving easy bass. And you can have both of these up at the same time and see what you need. I can drag my drum beat there or a piece of MIDI or something else, so that it can calculate. And I can do a review over these things, but they just make it so easy for you to create and songwrite. But there's ways for you to drop MIDI in here. You can tap to fine. I believe there's another feature that you can just listen to your music and I've got my keys here and everything, and I just found a groove that I really liked, and I did tweak it a little bit. So here's what we got. Here's when the bass comes in. And then it just repeats. Now, here in the verse, I did have to cut that up a little bit just to make it fit with the song, but it's very easy to do, very simple to do that kind of editing. And again, if this is something that's wanted, I can probably do a little bit more in depth, but this video series is just kind of focusing on getting your song together and all the different things that you can do to help build that along. So we've got a cool bass line, I think, and it fit perfectly with the song there. The next thing that I did was actually just play a little acoustic guitar, and I recorded that twice so that we could pan that out, and this is what I came up with. So just playing the melody. The next thing that I wanted to do was just add some electric, just some sort of strums there, just another layer of and texturing that guitar up. Now the next thing is bringing in the easy keys. So I've got easy drums, easy bass, and easy keys, and they just work so great together. Like I said, you can pull MIDI from the other one and drop it in, and it can give you suggestions on, what would sound good with that style of music and the tempo of that and the key of that and everything. So added an organ here. And then pull the same thing in for a piano. Thought that was really cool. It's very basic, and we can go back and add some things in there to really attach itself to that melody. And I'm using Shape. That's a Luna product there, Universal Audio. And then there's a bridge part here that we added. So that's cool, just bringing everything, connecting everything together. Looks like we had something else set up here with easy keys. Maybe I kind of built it in there and then used the piano in Shape because it's really, really nice. And then I thought it would be nice to add in some strings. It's kind of a, sad, depressing song a little bit there. And so can't go wrong with strings. And I'm using the Philharmonic 2 on that. We can take a look at it here. This is an IK Multimedia. This came with their bundle package. It's really cool. It's got everything you'd need as far as strings go, and even, just a ton of other instruments. You've got bass, drums, guitars, just a ton of stuff. So very helpful with the songwriting process. So here are some strings. I'll just go ahead and play everything that's going on right there. Oh, I just love that. And man, that didn't take hardly any time because, you're dropping in some MIDI that you've already got and it just plays right along there with the melody. And this is basically the same thing. I just broke it up into what the verses and the choruses were playing. Now, another cool little effect here that I wanted to add for some emphasis. So now let's just take a listen to everything in the chorus here. Hey y'all, thanks so much for checking this video out. This is part 2 of a multi-part series. I hope you'll check out the other ones and continue following along with us. I've got some pretty helpful things coming up in recording, so stick around for that. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to download the guide to creating a song that goes along with this video series. You can find that on my website at faireairmusic.com. All the links to everything are left for you down there in the description box. So check that out, download the free guide, and stay tuned for the next video where we go over some important things to know when recording. All right, thanks so much for watching, y'all. We'll talk soon.